Hi friends, in today's current affairs session, we'll discuss Niti Aayog Model Bill on conclusive titling. So in this chapter, before I enter into, I'll try to divide this entire lecture into 6 parts, and in 6 parts I'll try to explain you. So first one is, what is this land titling? Second is, what is the present system of this land titling? Next, third one, what needs to be done in this titling system? Fourth one, what are the advantages of this new titling? Because we need to bring some changes in this, and what are the advantages? What are the challenges that involves in this new thing? Next, what are the government initiatives in this aspect? So, I will try to explain this entire topic in these 6 aspects. But before I enter into land titling concept, actually Niti Aayog has prepared a model bill on this conclusive land titling, and it was circulated to the state governments, and they wanted to seek the reply from the state government and what are the things. See, what is this concept of model bill? Model bill is something, it's a framework. So, we wanted to bring a new law, and this is a model, and what are your suggestions on that? And why they are going for the model bill? Generally, the union governmental agencies will come up with model bill if that particular subject is falls under the state list, or if it is not purviewed under the union, then they will go for this model bills. If they have the complete authority, they can bring the bill, but when they do not have the authority, sometimes they will bring the model bill and they will circulate it to the states, and so that they will pursue the state to bring such a law. And sometimes if they want any pre-consultation at the nationwide level, they can also bring model law. But here when it comes to the land titling and land, it is completely under the state list. So that is why union government cannot do, state government has to do. But this Niti Aayog has actually, it's a think tank of the union government and also to the state governments. They are doing research on various aspects of the governance and also the growth and development aspects of the country. They have proposed earlier lot of model bills with respect to contract farming and other issues also. But again, they are so interested in giving these conclusive land titles to the lands. So, this is the concept, and in this actually first, what is land titling? So, land titling means providing some sort of right over a land. So, this is a land, and for that you have some title, that is some certificate, and the certificate gives you information like you have the right over this land. Now, what is the problem with the existing titles? Is there any problem? There is a problem. That is the reason why Niti Aayog want to bring a new type of titling. So, what is the problem with this existing model? Before that, what exactly the existing model is? So, how in a present day the titles are giving? See, in this present day, that means the day when we are discussing this issue, except some pilot projects, but most of the cases, the land records are maintained with information on possession, which is determined through details of past transaction. So, this is a title that you are having. This title will be given with the recorded information, that means with recorded information. So, whatever the information that is available with the authorities, with that information they will provide this certificate or this record with this title, and this title will gives you the right based on the existing recording information. And how you will get this recorded information? It is through the past detailed transactions. That means, okay, this land initially has come from person A to person B, again from person B to person C. So, according to the recorded information, the land has come from A to B and B to C. Now, the C is holding this land. Now, C is having a right. This is the present model. C is having the right on this land. Now, the point is, suppose if any dispute has arisen, whether the owner of this land is C or not, then the process will become so difficult. Here no one is a guarantee. Suppose if B you created a fake document from B, D is also purchased that same land. Now the D can claim the land. Now the D can claim the land. Now to whom this land exactly belongs to, either C or D, it is a litigation. It is just providing a right, but no one gives the guarantee to this land. If someone really litigate this matter, if they went for litigation, then it's again in a question mark. So that means the present recorded information which you are keeping with yourself is a past recorded transactions. No one provide any guarantee to this title. That means the title is highly temporary. If someone really questions about your title, then you will be liable for whatever the trial proceedings, and also you need to went through the litigation process. Now what you need to do with these titles? You may ask a question, okay, when we are transferring, we are registering a property. So then what about that registration? See, you are just, when registration is happening, that registration is a registration of a sale deed, a registration of a land because of inheritance, or it is a mortgage, or it is a lease. That means whatever the government is doing a registration, they are registering your transaction. They are not providing any guarantee to your land, because they don't know whether whose land is exactly this belongs to. This person want to sell to this person, and they are registering this transaction. And if something goes wrong, government is not at all responsible. Even though government is collecting a stamp duty on this registration, stamp duty is levied by the state governments on these registrations. Okay, though they are collecting, they are not providing any guarantee to your title. So it may be go for any litigation at any point of time. That is the problem in the present land titling system. Now what you need to do, if at all you want to move out of these problems, what you need to do? You need to bring a conclusive title. So what does it mean, conclusive title? First of all, I will explain conclusive title. How can you issue conclusive titles and other things, I will discuss it later. Conclusive title means this is a land, and for this land government is giving some certificate or some title. Now if government gives this title as a conclusive title, then government is fully accepting your rights over this land, and if something goes wrong, this government will provide compensation to you. That is the best thing involved in this. It's a complete right over land. No one can claim. Suppose this land title is belongs to A, no one can claim on this land, right on this land. Suppose if someone can claims, and if they went to the judiciary, and if ultimately the courts are said like, okay, this is not A but this is to B, then government has to compensate. And here this B no need to fight with A, the B has to fight with the government. So that is what the conclusive title. So conclusive title means government is giving complete guarantee to the land title, and if someone is really claiming over this land, he no need to fight with the land owner or the title owner, he need to fight with the government, because government is a guarantor. But in the present day case, government is not at all a guarantor. Now I will explain what are the advantages, what are the problems with this previously explained model. But this is what conclusive title. We need to move in this direction of conclusive titles. Okay. Now the point is, what are the advantages of this conclusive title? What are the advantages? See, the main advantage is, today if you take the case of the entire case load in Indian judiciary, almost 2/3 cases are, that means more than 60% of the cases are of land related issues. So how the land related issues? The point is, okay, this is a land transferred from this person to this person, again this person to this, A, B, C, and someone will come and someone can claim over this land C, because this originally this land is not belongs to A, this land is actually belongs to my forefathers called X, and we don't know from where X to A it has come, but we have the lineage from X to Y and Y to Z. Now the Z is claiming over the land, and these people have some past recorded information, these people are also having recorded information. Then what you need to do? Who need to provide the guarantee over that land? So these are some of the problems are there, and this land disputes are more than 2/3 of the cases are there in Indian judiciary. It is taking lot of time, lot of money. That is the reason why you need to end this. Somewhere you need to give the conclusive titles, and so that you can reduce the litigation. The title is guaranteed by the government, then if something goes wrong, then government will fight the case. Then you may ask, okay, then the burden has shifted from person to government. See, before you are giving these conclusive titles, you must do proper verification, and the survey has to be done, and in that manner you have to give. I will explain that process. But most of the cases in the judiciary are land related cases, and that is the reason why you need to reduce these litigational aspects. Second one, now I told, like in the present day case, the land titles are given based on the transactions, the previous transaction, but the people don't have that previous transactional documents. Suppose if someone started questioning this right over this land, then it is your duty to show these transactions, and if some person don't able to show these transaction, then he cannot claim any right over that land. But if someone artificially created some fake documents, so there is a problem. But even the genuine people may not store these documents. Okay, this entire chain of transactions, genuine people may not keep it with themselves. So again it is leading to a litigation. So even though if you have the land title, that doesn't confers you complete right. If someone questions the authority or questions the ownership of that land, then you have to show all these chain of transactions. And if you don't able to, if you are unable to show these things, then your title itself is in question. That is the problem in present day. Now you no need to store all the chain of transaction if the conclusive land title is given to you. Next, the main problem is with the investments. This is one of the main area you need to focus, investments. See, investor want to invest in our country and he has come up with his capital and he want to go for acquire some amount of area, land acquisition. Now yes, these people are, yes, okay, suppose this is divided into some plots, okay, and okay, now he will try to acquire this land with the procedure established by the law in the year 2013. Now okay, everyone he is purchased and he has given money, but tomorrow someone comes and someone file a petition like this land is not belongs to that person who has sold to you, he is not the original owner, I have the documents. Then what this person has to do? He has to move around the courts, and that too, land has become a very crucial factor in the economic development. Without land you can't do. And the problem is with the acquisition of the land, because the 2000 Act to some extent is very difficult to acquire the land. But on the above, if these litigations comes, then it will be very difficult for the investor to invest in our country, because they are going to face lot of problems with this land, and if this process get delayed, then the cost will increases and their profits and all, their entire time frame and everything will get disturbed. So that is the reason why some of the state governments are coming up with this concept of land banks. That means they themselves acquiring and they are keeping with themselves, but it's not possible to provide land bank to every industry. To some extent they can, but anyhow this is a procedural problem that we are facing in our regular this land acquisition process. That is why the investor sentiment is low. Even starting of a business is also on the ease of doing business. When it comes to the starting of business, we are lagging to some extent. So we need to remove these land related disputes, and the one who is selling to you, and he must have a complete knowledge and complete trust on this person. Oh, he is the owner. Then he can purchase without any fear, so that he can avoid the future disputes. Now when it comes to, apart from investment, infrastructural project, again when it comes to the infrastructural project, same, because they need to acquire the land in a vast stretch of area, some hundreds and hundreds of kilometers, and if you get these type of problems somewhere in between, then it is something like a hurdle for the government to go with these projects, because it is a court cases, and that too they will take an average 20 years to resolve. Because if it is lower court, then go to higher court, again higher court, again higher court, this litigation is go on increasing. So again it is affecting our infrastructural developmental projects. The cost overruns and delays, unable to complete within a period of time. So these are the problem with infrastructural projects. Okay. Next, apart from infrastructural projects, in rural area, that too for agricultural farmers, institutional credit, that means credit from the banking system. Credit from the banking system is very difficult if they don't have a proper title with them, and if that title is in dispute, then it is very difficult for the farmers to get the loans from the banking system. So you need to remove, and that is the reason why banker will ask every time, bring the new title, every year, and maybe with some sort of authentic certificate from the authorities. That too they will ask, they will harass, otherwise they don't provide the loans, because it is their own commercial risk. So that is the reason why you need to provide some sort of permanent title, so that these farmers don't get any problem whenever they are accessible, whenever they are try to access the institutional credit. Otherwise they will be leave it to the vagaries of the private lenders in the rural areas. That too they are charging the higher interest rate. That is also a problem. Next, when it comes to the other aspect, it includes transparency, and also no tampering with the documents, because if something goes wrong, government has to provide the guarantee. So that is the reason why Niti Aayog is focusing on these aspects, because when it comes to the investment, when it comes to the infrastructural development, even when it comes to the loan facility to the agricultural farmers, and also on the overall the entire process itself, it has become the problem. Now once these titles are given, and if this title confers the guarantee by the government, then we can expect less litigations. I am not saying like we don't get litigation, but there is an every chance that the litigations will be low. These are the advantages. Now I want to move to the next area, the challenges. So what are the challenges in this? See, the challenge is, now the problem is, this is the land that you are owning, and now you are having a title. So if you want to confer the conclusive title, first of all you need to digitize the records. So how you will digitize? You will go to the office and you will take that hard copy or whatever the records available, and you will upload it in the computer. And once you will upload it in the computer, if there is no dispute of this land, then you start giving conclusive titles. This is how you need to do. But the problem is, here some records are there and you have digitalized that record. This is digitalization, this is conclusive title, this is the record available in the office. Suppose if this record is not matching with the existing land, then your record will be wrong, your digitization is wrong, again your conclusive title is wrong. So that means you are giving a right to a wrong land. That means what might be the wrong things? There are lot of wrongs that may happen, and that are there actually. So what is the first problem in this thing? First of all, this is land is going to have some survey number, and this number is actually, just assume it is 101, but the one you are enjoying may be 102 or 103, like possibilities are there. The actual ground position where you are owning the land is something of different survey number, and your record itself is something different number. That means you are giving a wrong title, wrong conclusive title in a different location. Second one is, suppose in this record it has mentioned it as just 1 acre, but here he is owning 1.5 acre or 1.3 acre. Then how you will solve? And you will directly digitizing this and you are giving the conclusive titles. So this is the major problem that the country is facing now. Now what you need to do? You need to go for resurvey. What you need to do under resurvey? You need to go to the every land and you need to check, okay, this land is belongs to whom. Okay, suppose if these are the coordinates of that particular land, and they will try to identify the coordinates and they will try to calculate the area, and they will try to again give a new record with new coordinates and also the area and also with that person. So this person is owning this much of amount of area in so and so number with these coordinates. So no one can change this. Now if you digitize this record and if you give conclusive title, then ultimately this will give you a full guarantee without any mistakes. This actually needs to be done. And how you will do this resurvey? Because you need to survey the each and every inch of the land. And what is the government land? What is the private land? What are the community lands? What are the lands using for agriculture? What are the commercial lands? What are the lands allocated for housing? So all you need to do. Then only you can give then only you can provide the conclusive titles. If you don't do this record modification and if you just digitize and if you give conclusive titles and if you get these type of problems, then definitely it is going to be a problem. And that too, whenever you are digitizing the records, does these records, okay, owned by person A, does he is a legitimized owner, or is there any disputes that are associated with this land? And without looking into that, if you just digitize this, then again it leads to the litigations, because you are going to give the conclusive titles. So the point what you need to do is, you need to do a before going into the conclusive title, you need to go for a resurvey, because the land records are not modified or updated for decades. Somewhere something mischief happened and it is continuing, because your records are not updated. So you need to go for an updation record, and for that updation you must go for resurvey. And if at all any litigations as far as inheritance is concerned or as far as any other disputes are concerned, then those things you must consider, and finally you need to digitize. This is the bigger challenge. Then how you will really face this challenge? Because this can be possible only through a resurvey, and that too a resurvey with the help of community. You need to go to the village, you need to keep the records with you, and with the help of community, and if some litigation is happening and this land is belongs to A and some other litigants are coming like B, C, D, and with the help of community you can decide who is the owner. If it is really in the court, you can't help, but with the help of community and with the help of local bodies, you need to do a digital resurvey. Then only it is possible for giving a conclusive land title, because conclusive land title is a very important issue, because it is increasing the cost of the projects, and as well as it is also creating a lot of mess. A lot of judiciary time is taken away by these disputes, and that too farmers are unable to get any benefit, because nowadays what the governments are doing is, when government is giving any benefit, they are asking, okay, if you are a land owner we will provide this, otherwise we will consider it as a tenant or something like a laborer. But most of the times they are linking with these land records, and if this land record itself is in dispute, then it is very difficult for the farmers to get the benefits of government or any institutions. Okay, so the resurvey need to be done. Now I will come to the what are the recent initiatives that are taken by the government of India on this land digitization programs. See, in the year 2008, government of India has started a program called National Land Record Modernization Program. started in the year 2008 by the government of India. It is under the Ministry of Rural Development, because ministries are important. Ministry of Rural Development. When it comes to the specific department, it is the Department of Land Resources. So this is the ministry and this is the department. So what they have done at that time, their focus is on many aspects, but their main agenda or the main ambition is to digitize and modernize the land records and develop a centralized record. So their main agenda is digitize and modernize, and must to have a centralized land record. Now the point is, under this what they have done, computerization of land records, because these points are important. If you get the question, you can use these information, land records, and if necessary you can go for survey and resurvey. These objects are mentioned. And also the computerization of registrations, means suppose if a land is registering, that registration must be done through online, and the records must be whatever that must be reflected in the records. It is not something like an offline mode. No, okay, suppose you are applying in the online, okay, you are done the payment and whatever the stamp duty that you have paid, automatically that conclusive title will directly shift from one person to another person. That computerization of registration. And also map digitization, because this map digitization is also important, because once I click on a particular village, then I have to get the entire map of that village. Okay, this number belongs to this person, area is this person, this number is belongs to this guy, area is this number belongs to this, like I have to able to see in a digitized format. And also the modern record management. So it is not something like earlier where some litigation happened, they need to go and they need to looking into all the previous things, but you need to go for a modern record management. So with these objectives, they have started the program in the year 2009 at the national level, but unfortunately it hasn't even reached its targets of 50%. So its performance is low. Some of the state governments have taken good initiatives in this aspect. So like the states of Karnataka, state of Telangana, state of Andhra Pradesh, state of Madhya Pradesh, and also state of Maharashtra, they have done a good thing to some extent. They tried to digitize. I think I can say like Telangana is a state where they have digitized, except that whatever the litigated lands of some 5 to 10% remaining are digitized. In Andhra Pradesh also they are digitizing it. Okay, but the problem is that digitization has to be done with the proper surveying. If you don't do proper surveying and also the proper resurvey and the coordinate aspects I have explained, then there is no use in digitization, because for the namesake you are digitizing. The land is in land digitization is there, central monetary is there, and also you can provide the conclusive titles to that, but there is an every chance to get the litigation again, because you haven't done the proper survey there. And that is the reason why what the government has done is, now they are come up with a new scheme. But again I'll give that scheme name, this Digital India Land Record Modernization Program. Digital India Land Record Modernization Program. This NDA government has brought this scheme. It is just an updation to the earlier scheme of National Land Record Modernization Program. So what they are going to do in this, they are going to implement all those things, all those objectives that were mentioned in the 2008 model in an effective manner, because now they are starting a campaign called Digital India. So now they wanted to, their slogan is the maximum governance and minimum governance. That means minimum government and maximum governance. So everything has to be digitalized, and the main aim of Digital India is empowering a common man through digital technology. So we wanted to empower the common landholder with the digital technology. We wanted to survey and resurvey, try to digitize and allow the transactions happen in a digital mode, try to digitize the entire registration process, and also provide the map details and provide the conclusive land title. This is what they are going to do under this scheme. Okay, so this Digital India Land Records Modernization Mission, the same ministry is implementing this program. But when it comes to some states, like because these examples you can quote, the states like Andhra Pradesh, they wanted to bring the blockchain technology in maintaining the land records, because the main advantage of the blockchain is every transaction is transparent and every record is open to anyone. So whoever is connected to this entire chain, everyone can see what is the record that is you are updating and what is the record that went for the change, and this is a so transparent process. So if it is transparent, we can reduce to some extent the litigations. And when it comes to the state of Rajasthan, actually the state of Rajasthan has passed a legislation to provide the guarantee for the land titles in urban area. It's not about every area, but in urban area. So they are going to survey the entire land in the urban area and they are going to give a conclusive land title. Once they have given this conclusive land title, then you will be the owner. If anyone comes to for litigation, then he has to fight with the government, not this person. If you implement these things, if you implement these programs, then definitely it will help for the boosting of the land acquisition, and also it helps for the farmers to get the benefits, and the process itself is completely streamlined. Now the every record is digitized, you can track the transactional details, and if you link it with the Aadhaar, the union government can have the complete details of what is the availability of the land and what is the area of the land and who are the owners of that land. So entire information they can get. And even this stamp duty frauds or any the valuation frauds that are happening, that you can eliminate it with these conclusive titles. And there is another scheme started by the government of India last year on the day of Panchayat Raj Day in the year 2020. That scheme is Swamitva. Don't confuse the scheme of Swamitva with this digital land record modernization program. Swamitva is a scheme started by the Ministry of Panchayat Raj. So what they will do in this Swamitva program is, actually initially it was implemented in only 6 states like Haryana, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, UP, Uttarakhand. Okay. So in 6 states they have implemented. So what they are going to do in this is, they are going to provide the integrated property validation solution for rural India. So in rural India, they will go for Abadi lands. That means the lands, the commercial lands. Abadi land in the sense it is a commercial land. That means the land which will be used for the construction of the houses, or the house kept it for the residential purpose. And apart from that, you are going to have some agricultural fields. This is a different story, agricultural fields. But when it comes to these Abadi lands, they are going to survey it and they are going to provide a conclusive title, so that these people will get the complete right over their residential lands, and they will use the drone technology to demarcate the areas, and also they will survey it and they are going to provide, so that the rural people will be empowered. But this is not applicable to the agricultural and other forest and revenue related lands. It is only for the Abadi lands. Okay, so this is the scheme of this Swamitva program, and in the budget, finance minister has announced that this Swamitva program is going to be extended to the entire country. That means the government want to empower the rural people by providing the conclusive title over their residential property with the use of information technology. But the thing what I have discussed about the lands, it is not just about these lands, it is about the every inch of the land, whatever the land, whether it is commercial or other any agricultural thing, or even if it is the survey of government lands, because lot of government lands are now encroached. Some of the welfare land like Waqf lands and other lands are there, lands donated to the Hindu temples or some of the mosques and other. So there are variety of lands are there, and you need to demarcate those lands, and you need to give you need to digitize the transaction, and also you need to give a conclusive title. so that we can reduce the disputes. So on this front, Niti Aayog has actually prepared a model because this is very important, though it looks like a minute issue, but why actually infrastructural projects or development projects that are taking lot of time in our country, because we are able to reduce some of the processes reforms at the union level. Maybe it is environmental clearances, or maybe it is security clearances, or maybe it is a clearance by the any department, that too they are happening at the higher level, it's fine. But when it comes to the actual ground position, mostly the litigations related to the ownership of the land has become a big problem. Now what this Niti Aayog is going to do under this, once you have come across okay what are the government things, now what Niti Aayog is proposing now under this new model. So the Niti Aayog proposal is, in that bill they have clearly mentioned, like we are providing a strategy, that means a mechanism through which we will do. So what is that thing? Now first of all, a state government has to create a land authority through a legislation, land authority. So they have to first provide a land authority. Once they have provided the land authority through a legislation, they appoint a title registration officer, we call it as TRO, title registration officer. And once this title registration officer is appointed, what he will do is, based on the available records, they need to give the conclusive titles. So they will prepare a draft. So this is the draft of conclusive land titles, and the present title we call it as presumptive title. The present way of titling is presumptive title, but anyway they are going to provide the draft of conclusive land titles. Now if you find any objection in this draft conclusive title, that means one title has given to one of my family member that must belong to me, so I have an objection. So I need to take all my details with me to an officer called land dispute resolving officer. Okay, so land dispute resolving officer, and this land dispute resolving officer along with TRO, they verify the objections given by some people, and if necessary they will go for survey and resurvey, and finally they will come up with a final draft. Now what you need to do is, once the litigations are happening at these LDRO and TRO level, it may take some time, but once the litigation is over, if you find any objection in that land, you can go for an appellate body. Again, appellate body is also created by the legislation within 3 years of time, and in within 3 years, okay, if it is decided or something else, okay, then it's fine. But after that, the whatever the draft they are going to give you, that is the final draft, and the names included in this draft will be eligible for getting the conclusive titles. That means you are presumed to be like these people are granted a conclusive titles. And if you find any dispute in the conclusive title, you can approach only High Court, no other lower court. You can approach High Court. And when this entire process is going on, the records which are the land which are disputes in court, they don't taken by either TRO or LDRO. So state has to bring a legislation, they need to appoint all this authority, they need to start a process. But the main thing is, if the litigations has arisen, they need to go for a survey or resurvey. And that is the reason why some of the land experts, what they are suggesting is, instead of going with this process, first of all you do the survey and you do the resurvey and try to identify where exactly the land is and where is the owner, and after that you start this process. Because even if the title is correct, even if the title owner is correct, but the extent of area is something different. So these are the problems that you are getting, but this is a model that is suggested by the Niti Aayog, and they have asked for the states, and we don't know how they are going to bring it, and does they really follow this only one model, or if some of the other states like Andhra Pradesh, I told you, like they want to use blockchain technology and other related things. Okay, so this is how they are going to provide the conclusive land titles. Okay, so this is the process mentioned in Niti Aayog model bill. So there is an urgent need to bring these reforms. So it is not just only for the industrial activity, it also empower the rural people. It also empower the rural people, and it also reduce the litigation, because the litigation itself is taking lot of time, and lot of the land is become unproductive. They are not using any purpose, for any purpose, just because it is a dispute, because court will give you a stay order, so no one can use that land. So as the land is in, because there is only limited availability of land, we need to use in an efficient manner. And once you have granted these conclusive titles, then government can directly give the titles, and if any investor or anyone or any banker can directly have a link with the government, they no need to go to that people. Suppose if they arise any disputes over the ownership of the land. So this is what explained in the Niti Aayog model bill. So need to have some sort of idea about this model bill. What are the advantages? What are the challenges that you are going to face? And that too, what are the governmental initiatives? So the land record digitization programs, and even under Digital India, whatever the Digital India land records modernization program. And you need to remember some of the examples that are taken in the state of Telangana state and Andhra Pradesh and Rajasthan. To some extent they are moving in that direction, but our ultimate goal is to move to the direction of giving the conclusive land with complete digitization of the data, with complete registration transactions happened in digital manner. And also you need to provide that whatever the cadastral maps or the maps of the rural lands in an online, so that anyone can see. That only reduces the litigation aspect, and also that helps us to grow in a more faster manner, because the land acquisition and the land litigations are really big hurdles in our developmental process. Okay, and once this is completed, the whatever the contract farming that we are that have discussed in the agricultural farming, it will become very easy, because farmers are having lot of doubts like, okay, this my land can be taken over by somebody. Though the government is assuring like your land will never go anywhere, but okay, government can convince, that is also a true thing. But the point is, still when the people are having such apprehensions in their mind, then it is our responsibility to provide any future disputes. It's better to provide the conclusive land title. Okay, this conclusive title will also reduce the apprehension in the minds of the farmer. They can come closer and they can go for collective farming, or they can go for a contract farming, or they can go for a lease activity. So they can do anything, because some of the lands in the rural area are owned by the people in the urban area, and they don't give this land as a lease to some persons who are residing in rural area, because they have an apprehension that okay, these people, if they continuously do it for some more year, they may claim right over the land. So the point is, for the efficient utilization of the land wherever it is available, without changing the ownership rights, if at all we wanted to utilize in an effective manner, then the only solution perhaps is the conclusive title. And the landowner must be given an enough confidence that okay, government is giving the guarantee to my land, so if something goes wrong, government is there to rescue me. If you able to provide that benefit, then definitely we can really realize our full potential. Okay, and we can reduce the disputes. And try to remember some of the aspects and the advantages. So this is what discussed in the Niti Aayog modern bills. See, whenever Niti Aayog has presenting a model bill, means you need to be very careful, like this is going to be the future agenda of the government, because I told it is a governmental think tank body. So they will analyze, they will go for research, and they will think in a different aspects. If something Niti Aayog is proposing, means definitely it is going to be the future idea. And in UPSC, definitely you are going to get that future aspect questions, instead of okay, what they have passed and what is the present thing. They will also focus on future aspects. So that is the reason why whatever the model law, whether model law on contract farming or model law on these conclusive titles or whatever it may be, whatever the Niti Aayog is promoting, you need to be very clear, and you need to have some sort of idea, both advantages, challenges, problems, everything. Okay, so with this I am concluding. Thank you.